Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. Julian here for another waiver wire video. This one for week 15 of the fantasy hockey season. Now, this video has been an absolute nightmare to record just because my computer stopped working, and pretty much right after I finished prepping the video, I wasn't able to film. So I'm trying right now with a very old computer. Hopefully, I'm able to put this video together properly, and hopefully I'm able to get it out this weekend. Hopefully you guys are watching this the weekend it's supposed to be released. Now, before we get started into this, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I do really appreciate each and every one of you that subscribes to the channel. And let's jump right into the schedule for the week. And this week, week 15, on Monday, January 13th, there are only 3 games. On Tuesday, there are 13. On Wednesday, there are 2. On Thursday, there are 13. On Friday, there are 2. On Saturday, there are 15 games. So every single team in the NHL plays except for 2. And Sunday, there are 3 games as well. So obviously, looking at this, guys, the busy nights are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and they are super, super busy. So it's pretty unlikely that you're able to fit anybody in your lineup unless you are really loaded on the teams that are not playing. Go check that, but in all likelihood, you're going to be wanting to add players that play on those off nights, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, to try to optimize your schedule this week. Now, who does have the best schedule? Well, that is the Edmonton Oilers, because they do have 2 off nights and play 4 games overall. They play the Monday and Wednesday off night, so even if you can't fit a streamer on Thursday and Saturday, you can add an Edmonton Oiler and have them for Monday and Wednesday, which is not a bad idea. Now, the other 2 teams that have not the best schedule because they only play 2 games, but have a really good streaming schedule are Buffalo and Carolina, and both teams play Wednesday and Friday, which is going to be really, really helpful for those off nights as well. And then finally, teams that play 4 games other than Edmonton are Calgary, Dallas, Detroit, Florida, Montreal, New Jersey, New York, Ottawa, and Philadelphia. Teams with a bad schedule are the Boston Bruins and the Minnesota Wild, since they only do play 2 games this week, although Minnesota is not as bad because they do play one of their games on the Wednesday off night. And then Buffalo and Carolina, remember, they also only play 2 games, but because both of those games are on consecutive off nights, Wednesday and Friday, they're actually quite valuable of a schedule and aren't really a bad schedule at all. In terms of players you should be adding, Ricard Ragel should be right at the top of your list if somehow he's still available in your league. He still is available in 33% of leagues, somehow playing on the top line and top power play in Pittsburgh with Sidney Crosby, and has triple eligibility. Yeah, this dude is like super valuable, and I don't know why he's still not over 70% rostered. Tom Wilson of the Washington Capitals is also someone who's had an awesome year. Second line right now and top power play, lots of shots, lots of hits. He's someone who has been absolutely excellent this year. Patrick Kane is someone who's really heating up right now. He's back on the top power play in Detroit, and Detroit has been on an absolute heater since they changed coaches. Patrick Kane is someone who's benefiting a lot from that. Dylan Holloway, someone who's playing in the top 6 and top power play in St. Louis and is absolutely still lighting it up. And as long as he is, guys, Dylan Holloway should be added in more leagues. He's 50% owned, and I could see him getting even higher than that. Dmitry Voronkov is playing on the top line and top power play in Columbus. Yeah, it sucks that Monahan got injured, but Voronkov has been playing absolutely sensational. He's someone a little bit like Gabe Vilardi, who goes on insane hot streaks and then just goes cold for a whole bunch of games. But as of right now, guys, he's very, very hot. So someone that I would want on my team. Quentin Byfield, believe it or not, is actually quite hot right now, playing on the second line in LA with Warren Foegele. He is putting up points right now. Now, the peripherals are not plentiful with Byfield, which is why I don't love him as a fantasy player generally. But as long as he's putting up the points like he is right now, we have Alexis Protas and Pierre-Luc Dubois of the Washington Capitals, and both of them have been absolutely sensational over the past little while. Protas is playing on the top line with Alexander Ovechkin and Dylan Strome, but actually gets 0 power play time, but even then has not needed it and has been scoring very consistent points. And then Pierre-Luc Dubois is the second line center in Washington, who does get PP2 time and has been scoring points very, very consistently. It's nice to see him having a bounce back year. Jason Zucker is a very great ad for the off nights that Buffalo has this week on Wednesday and Friday. He is playing on the top line and top power play, and as of late has been playing pretty well. Jonathan Drouin is playing in the top 6 and the top power play in Colorado. The top 6 is always moving, so I'm not going to say exactly what line he's playing on because it just keeps changing over there in Colorado. But he is doing quite well. He's actually scoring quite a bit of points right now. So as of right now, why not stream him? JJ Peterka playing on the second line right now, guys, with McLeod and Alex Tuch, as well as the top power play. Now, his peripherals haven't been all that plentiful, but the points are coming, so I definitely don't mind that for the off nights. Victor Arvidsson is also great for the off nights this week, playing on the second line with Draisaitl and Podkolzin. He's shooting the puck a decent amount, and the points definitely could come with the 4 games he has this week. William Eklund is back from injury, playing on the top line in San Jose, which is very good deployment and definitely should continue to put up points. Tyler Bertuzzi is playing top line and top power play in Chicago with Connor Bedard, and Connor Bedard is starting to kind of heat up right now, so he's actually a great add right now, Tyler Bertuzzi, and is definitely the best support player right now to be adding in Chicago. Jordan Staal is someone who's great for the off nights on Wednesday and Friday. Didn't score many points all year, but finally this guy's actually absolutely killing it with the points. He scored a hat trick on Thursday night, a goal and an assist on Friday night, and as long as he keeps on putting up the points, guys, and even if he doesn't, you might as well go for it for a streamer for the off nights, especially if you have face-off wins in your league. He's going to be valuable. Kirby Dach is actually playing quite well right now in Montreal, playing on the second line with Patrick Laine if he's healthy. He's been really, really good, and he's one of the big reasons Montreal is doing as well as they are, because he's really turned his game around. Jack Quinn, I can't believe, is still only 3% rostered, guys. What are you guys waiting for? The dude's been absolutely great. He is a power play specialist, is playing on that top power play, and is scoring goals and points. Needs to be added and needs to be owned in way more than 3% of leagues, and is great for those Wednesday and Friday off nights. Adam Henrique is also good for the off nights, playing on the third line in Edmonton. Hasn't been too bad. Definitely more of a deep league grab, though, for the off nights. Same with Vasily Podkolzin, playing on that line with Arvidsson and Draisaitl. Hasn't been that bad. Honestly, probably has a little bit more upside than Henrique just because of the players he plays with. For those off nights, I don't mind it. And Ryan McLeod actually playing on the second line with JJ Peterka, who I mentioned earlier, and Alex Tuch. That's pretty good deployment, and for a deep league grab for the off nights Wednesday and Friday, I really don't hate it. In terms of defensemen, Lane Hudson's been absolutely phenomenal. He's got something like 22 points in his last 21 games or something like that. It's absolutely insane, and he's just doing so well. He needs to be owned in way more leagues and is a top power play guy on a very hot Montreal Canadiens team. Drew Doughty's another guy who, if you have room on your IR, add him. He is skating once again, guys, and once he comes back, he will be the top power play guy in LA and should continue to put up points like we know he can. Jake Middleton is great for the safe floor that he provides every single night. I know he recently put up a game with hard negative points, but that's not something that we can expect very often from Jake Middleton. He's shown that he can be pretty freaking good fantasy-wise this year with that safe floor. Just keep in mind that Minnesota only does play a couple of games this week. Jacob Chuba of the Anaheim Ducks has been also giving you a very safe floor every single night. Definitely not bad at all. Cam Fowler, top power play guy in St. Louis with a decently safe floor, but also scoring quite a bit of fantasy points and actual points every single night. Jackson Lacombe is the top power play guy in Anaheim and has been scoring a point almost every single night, which is awesome to see. Luke Shen gives you a safe floor with the hits every single night. It has been pretty decently consistent all year round. Every now and then there'll be a game where he doesn't do quite as well, but overall, safe floor every single night. Ryan Pulock of the New York Islanders is also kind of a safe floor guy. This guy more with blocks than with hits. He also can score points every once in a while too. He won a lot of people their week last week or 2 weeks ago when he scored, what was it, a goal and 2 assists, or was it 2 goals and 1 assist? Either way, the dude absolutely went off on a Sunday and won a lot of people their week. Noah Juleson is someone who's been giving a pretty safe floor with both hits and blocks as of late, and as long as he stays in the lineup in Vancouver, he definitely can be streamed in categories leagues, or even if you're in a points-based league that gives a decent amount of points for hits and blocks. Mason Lohrei is the top power play guy in Boston, and I probably wouldn't stream him for this week considering Boston only plays 2 games, but definitely someone to keep an eye on if he starts to go off a little bit. For goalies, we have Sam Montembeault of the Montreal Canadiens getting most of the starts over there, and the Habs are quite hot right now. They got Dobes also, but Montembeault is the starter as of right now. Wolf and Vladar are splitting the starts pretty evenly in Calgary, so both are viable. Karel Vejmelka of the Utah Hockey Club is 44% rostered and should continue to get most of the starts in Utah. He was pretty good in Ingram's absence. Now, Ingram is back now, so look for Ingram to get close to 50% of the starts. But if Ingram struggles, Vejmelka will continue to get the majority of those starts. Distal and Gibson should continue to split 50-50 about. Calvin and Lyon should also split about 50%. Each. Lyon is injured as of this recording, but he's not expected to be out very long, so that's not a bad ad either. Charlie Lindgren is a guy who just got injured in Washington. Now, when he's not injured, he does get half the starts over there. Logan Thompson is the guy you're going to want to look to if Lindgren does get injured, because Thompson will suddenly get more starts. Thompson was only getting every second start, just like Lindgren was. But if Lindgren is okay, go ahead and add him, guys, because he is getting every second start on a very, very good Washington Capitals team this year. In Columbus, Elvis Merzlikins is playing quite good and is definitely a goalie option if you need one. Jari and Nedeljkovic are splitting the starts pretty evenly right now in Pittsburgh, and Nedeljkovic is only 5% owned if you need a really deep league option. Yaroslav Askarov is getting about every second start in San Jose, sometimes more than that because Georgiev just isn't very good, and he's not playing too bad. Peter Mrazek of the Chicago Blackhawks seems to be getting the starts once again in Chicago, playing pretty well his last couple starts, so if he can build on that, he'll get the starts going forward. Samuel Ersson of the Philadelphia Flyers is the starter in Philadelphia. The dude always seems to be getting injured, but when he's healthy, he is the starter, even though he hasn't been really that great this year. And Anton Forsberg right now is the starter in Ottawa, only 7% rostered right now, and Ottawa Senators aren't too bad of a team. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.